All right, welcome on in everyone to First CSP for another episode of the Sunday Special. This is a chance for us to share some things that are not necessarily first issues or maybe first issue related, or in this case, is an update to a previous first CSP episode. In this case, we're going to be updating episode 111 with Pathway to the Rockies. This council again was formed in 2021 as the merger of Pikes Peak and Rocky Mountain councils. When we originally did an episode, if you haven't seen it, I'll make sure that episode is linked at the card at the end of this Update Sunday special. We had the SA1, SA2, and the SA4. At the time, and we talked about this in the video, we believed that potentially the SA4 might go on to become considered the first regular issue, even though it's currently listed in the collecting guide as an activity issue or a special issue. Generally, you would look for a regular issue. Not having the A would be just the S4, for example. It does have a gold mylar border, and but there's no other designation that it was for a specific activity. I had reached out since to the council to try and find out some more information about that. I have not heard back from the council, unfortunately. Let's head on over to the patch table. We can actually take a look at it. So this here is that SA4 listed in the collecting guide as gold mylar border, blue sky, brown fleur-de-lis, which is right here in the road, kind of ghosted in, and a gold mylar name that says Pathway to the Rockies. Take a look at the back. We've got a little label on it. It is the SA4. At least that's how it's listed in the guide. Now, the current collection guide, most recent, is the 2023 quarter 3. Now, this council, Pathway to the Rockies, was originally formed in 2021. The first patches, though, were the NOAC 2022 patches. So the first CSPs didn't start coming out until 2022. And then the draft issue, quarter 3 2023, publication for the collecting guide came out, meaning that the time from patches being produced to the collecting guide being produced are relatively close together. And oftentimes what we can find happen is that information changes as over time more information, history, or additional CSPs are found. At this point, we don't have necessarily any additional information, and I still don't know if the SA4 may at some point be converted to the S4 and be considered the first regular issue. It does seem that it was widely produced. There is no number in the collection guide for the number that were issued, but they did have listed in the collecting guide an SA5 and then an S6. The S6 we had never seen issues of. It is essentially the same patch done in red. And for a couple of years of looking, we had not seen. I've talked with a couple of other collectors that are interested in this council, and they had not seen many. The collecting guide does list that 2,000 of the S6 were made. And more recently, we are now starting to see those turn up in some trading groups online. We were fortunate to be able to collect one of those. So here is the S6. It is what is currently listed as the actual regular issue for Pathway to the Rockies. As we have always said, when the first CSP for a council is an activity issue, like the NOAC issue for Pathway to the Rockies, the SA1, again, you can check out that episode after this one. I'll have it linked there if you've not seen it. It's been one of our most popular because it is one that you do not get to see that set or CSP very frequently. When it is an activity issue, we also like to collect the first regular issue. Often the regular issue is what you would see people wearing on their uniforms. This is actually what I specifically emailed the council about. What are people in Pathway to the Rockies wearing on their uniforms? Are they wearing this red one? Are they wearing the gold one? Do they have an actual event or some additional information on why potentially the gold mylar border was listed as an activity issue? Was there something specifically it was produced for? But this is the S6. So we are happy to now have one of these as a part of our collection, and we're happy to bring it to you. That is the current update. If you know more about either of these patches of the history of the issues from Pathway to the Rockies, by all means, feel free to put it in the comments. That's one of the best things about this community here on our channel on YouTube is so many amazing collectors from across the country with a varied background of so many of the different councils and their histories often are adding information to our presentations in the comments. If you're not in the habit of reading the comments, you can find some really interesting information about either the issues specifically or other things related to that council and the collecting. And it is really an amazing community of people here, and we're appreciative of all of our viewers and those that participate with the channel. So that is this Sunday special update. I hope you have enjoyed it. Again, if you haven't seen the first issue for Pathway to Rockies, it will be on the screen here in just a moment. We'll be back again tomorrow with new first CSP episodes, brand new first CSPs debuting here on the channel. Until then, thank you all for stopping in, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.